The Young and the Restless spoilers full. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is a completely wild day to be a fan of our favorite show, and honestly, my brain is still entirely fried after watching the latest episode. I am literally typing this up late at night, running on pure adrenaline and caffeine. Because I need to get these thoughts out of my system and vent to people who actually understand the emotional roller coaster we are on right now. Grab a drink, because we have so much to unpack. I cannot believe they actually did it. I mean, I have been watching this show for years, and we have seen Victor Newman survive absolutely everything. We've seen him beat rare diseases, survive gunshots, survive plane crashes, and crush his corporate enemies without breaking a sweat. But this was on a completely different, terrifying level. I am still shaking from that final scene. I'm sorry, but did we just watch the literal patriarch of Genoa City, the invincible mustache himself, get blown to pieces in a rundown Las Vegas gas station? Am I hallucinating? Because my jaw is still on the floor, and I need to know if you guys are screaming at your screens the same way I am. This is absolute insanity. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's back up and talk about how we even got to this horrifying, heart-stopping moment. Because the contrast between what Victor was doing earlier this week and what he just did is giving me massive emotional whiplash. So, we all know Victor was sitting comfortably in his plush Newman Enterprises office, casually trying to ruin Phyllis Summers' life. He and Victoria were literally ambushing Phyllis with fake AI-generated emails, threatening to send her to prison via the new DA, Christine Blair. If she didn't sign over Summers Corp. Classic ruthless Victor, right? He is destroying lives for business and acting like he owns the world. But while he was playing his corporate chess games, his sons were literally fighting for their lives in the Nevada desert. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, Victor shows up at the gas station. Like, I know soap opera travel time is basically teleportation, but how did he get from a corporate boardroom in Wisconsin to a dusty, abandoned gas station in Vegas so fast? 1 minute he's blackmailing Phyllis, and the next he's pulling up to Matt Clark's house of horrors. But honestly, I don't even care about the logistical plot holes because the drama was so incredibly good. I mean, just think about the scene inside that gas station before Victor even walked in. It was already a complete nightmare. Nick is writhing on the filthy floor, literally dying from the tainted fentanyl and cocaine that sicko Matt Clark planted in that storage unit. The visual of Nick, usually so strong and moral, reduced to a helpless, paralyzed mess on the floor was so hard to watch. Adam is in full-blown panic mode, frantically enchaining Sharon and Noah, trying to figure out how to save his brother, and Matt. Matt is just watching it all on his little surveillance feed like it's a twisted movie. It was already peak drama. But then the bomb. Because of course Matt Clark planted a bomb. Why wouldn't he? The guy is an absolute psychopath who lives to torture this family. The timer is ticking down. The tension is completely through the roof. And just when it looks like Sharon, Noah, Nick, and Adam are going to be wiped off the face of the earth, Victor Newman kicks the door in. I mean, the sheer cinematic timing of it all. I was literally screaming at my television. And this is where I start to get really emotional and maybe contradict myself a little bit. Because I spend half my time hating Victor for how he manipulates his kids. He treats them like pawns on a chessboard. But in this one desperate, terrifying moment, he wasn't the billionaire CEO. He wasn't the ruthless corporate raider. He was just a father trying to save his family. Adam is screaming at him to stop, telling him it's too late, but Victor doesn't even hesitate. He literally throws himself into the line of fire. He rushes into the flames and physically shoves Sharon and Noah out of the way just as the timer hits 0. The explosion. Oh my God, can we talk about the explosion? It was massive. It ripped through that abandoned gas station and sent Victor flying into the fiery debris. And the most heartbreaking part of the entire sequence? Nick, poor, traumatized, drug-addled Nick. He is lying there, still dazed and physically paralyzed by the poison drugs in his system, and all he can do is watch his father's silhouette disappear into the smoke and fire. Can we talk about the psychological damage this is going to do to Nick? He already hates himself for falling into Matt's trap. He hates himself for stealing those drugs, and now he has to live with the visual of his dad blowing up to save his family. I am crying just thinking about the therapy bills this family is going to rack up. And then the aftermath, when the firefighters finally arrived and pulled Victor out of the rubble. I am not going to lie, seeing Victor Newman looking that frail, covered in severe burns, with his breathing so weak. It completely broke me. We are so used to him being the untouchable god of Genoa City. Seeing him broken, charred, and fighting for his life on a stretcher is a visual I will never, ever forget. Is this the end of an era? I know Eric Bredin is an absolute legend and the backbone of this show, but the writers are making this look really, really bad. I know some people in the forums are loving this storyline because they think Victor finally got what was coming to him after all his terrible deeds, and sure, he has done awful things. But personally, I am devastated. You cannot have WAIL without Victor Newman calling the shots. But also, I kinda love the narrative poetry of it all. He has been alienating his children so badly lately, constantly trying to control them, pushing Adam away, fighting with Nick. Was this his ultimate, desperate attempt at redemption? Did he realize he was losing his legacy and decided the only way to prove his love was to literally sacrifice himself? It's brilliant writing, but it hurts so much. Okay, back to the point. What the hell happens now? Genoa City is going to be an absolute shambles when the news breaks. Think about the ripple effects. Nikki is already dealing with the horrific stress of catching Jack and Diane's mess, and now she is going to get a phone call that her husband is burned alive in a Vegas hospital. She is going to collapse. I genuinely fear for Nikki's sobriety right now because this is the kind of trauma that pushes people over the edge. And Victoria. She was just plotting with him to take down Phyllis. And now she's going to have to step up and run the entire Newman empire by herself while her dad is on life support and her brother is recovering from a poison drug overdose. The Newman family is literally crumbling to dust before our eyes. Will the empire survive without Victor's iron fist? And honestly, Phyllis might actually use this tragedy to escape the blackmail and strike back, while the Newmans are distracted. I wouldn't put it past her to see Victor's near-death experience as a lucky break for Summers Corp. We also have to talk about Adam. Adam was right there. He watched his father, the man he has spent his entire life trying to impress and destroy at the exact same time, take a literal bomb for the family. Adam is going to be an absolute wreck. He is going to blame himself for not stopping Victor. He is going to blame Matt Clark. And honestly, I am terrified of what Adam is going to do next. If you thought Spider was dangerous in Vegas before, just wait until he unleashes his fury on Matt Clark for doing this. Matt better run to the ends of the earth because Adam is coming for blood, and he is not going to care about the law. Speaking of Matt Clark, I despise him. I really, truly do. But I have to admit, he is giving us the best villain storyline we've had in a decade. Remember when they tried this kind of high-stakes danger with Ashland Locke? Yeah, didn't work then either. It felt forced, but Matt has history. He has a deep, sick vendetta. He managed to weaponize Nick's addiction, trap Sharon and Noah, outsmart Adam, and take down Victor Newman all in one night. He is a monster, but he is a highly effective monster. I am dreading his next move, but I am also completely glued to my screen. And what about Sharon and Noah? Sharon has been through so much trauma over the years, and now she owes her life and her son's life to Victor Newman. The history between Sharon and Victor is so complicated they've hated each other. They've been married, we don't talk about that phase. And now he has literally taken a bomb for her. How does she even process that? And Noah watching his grandfather burn. It's too much. So, where do we go from here? Does Victor survive this? I mean, he has to, right? But even if he does, he's going to be in a hospital bed for months. The power vacuum at Newman Enterprises is going to cause a massive corporate war. And what about Nick? Will the guilt of Victor's sacrifice finally push him to get clean? Or will it drive him deeper into his addiction to numb the pain? I am so terrified for him. I am just so overwhelmed by this episode. It was a masterpiece of tension, family trauma, and explosive action. I am going to be thinking about that image of Victor rushing into the fire for weeks. I need to know your thoughts. Are you Team Victor on this? Do you think he's going to make it? Or is this really the end of the mustache? Drop your thoughts, because I am going to be in the comments all night reading what you guys have to say. This show is absolutely wild right now, and I am here for every single second of it.